What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Wallet Monkey channel where we give you all the credit intel you need to grow your wallet. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to get approved for any credit card in 2022. And obviously, as you can see, I got all the goods on the screen, so there's no hiding it. Now, at first glance, you might be thinking, wow, this is awful generic. But if you've dug into our channel, dug into the Discord community, the website that we offer for free, then you'll know that this is actually like us just taking a step back for this new year and looking at the macro view of all the little pieces now in the breadcrumbs we've been putting together over the last year. You know, the credit game is constantly changing, and I feel like with Corona, it delayed the rollout of the FICO 10 and 10T models. And once those roll out, it's going to be another big change. And so people need to start looking at credit fundamentally different. And what's interesting is that most of us, you know, like we grew up in regular households, middle class America, and so you didn't have any education to begin with. So now the education that you've heard about and kind of the stuff that's been talked about over the last 2-3 years is about to get flipped on its head again. So that's why I feel like a video like this is important to start off this year. You know, we're in the beginning now of 2022. So first off, when it comes to getting new credit, is you should really compartmentalize this into, in the FICO forums, they talk about gardening, which is where you just take care of your accounts, you be responsible with your credit, and you don't go get new accounts. And then there is app spree or game day strategy, whatever you want to call it. And that is the D-Day. That is the day that we've now positioned ourselves. We've gotten derogatories removed off of our account. We've gotten ourselves into position to win. Yeah? And we cover a lot of that here over at walletmonkey.io. I always plug this site because we put so much time into this, and all we really want it to be is like a one-stop shop place for you to get all the information you need to make the best decisions so that you can go and get what you want. That's it. So we cover quite a bit here. But yeah, all we're really trying to do is get our profile ready for new credit. Now, you remember the FICO score pie chart over here off to the right? What are the two things that matter the most? Payment history, 35%, and amounts owed. So utilization. And payment history, you know, paying on time. Now, the payment history also ties into, I would argue, this other one, length of credit history, which is average age of accounts. That is a much bigger deal than people realize. So even though this says payment history, I actually think that the, and length of credit history, 15%. Okay, cut that out. So even though we've got payment history, 35%, and that can be interpreted one way, and then we've got length of credit history, 15%, which you would think that would be average age of account, right? I don't think it is. I think it's both, right? In fact, it gets factored into both, rather, which would make total sense, okay? Payment history and length of credit history go hand in hand, right? They're almost saying the same thing, but in different ways. Okay, so average age of account is important. Every time you get new credit, it pulls down the average age of your account, and you usually get a score drop. So the score drop is because, yes, new credit, 10%, credit mix if it's hitting on that, a new inquiry, but it's also taking away from these two big categories here. Okay, so anyways, big thing to focus on here is utilization. So understand this, utilization below 30% is okay odds. Utilization below 10% is great odds. Inquiries above 7 is okay odds. Below 7, I would say, I'd argue below 4 is really, really good odds. So more and more banks are creating internal credit scores, just like Navy Federal. Big surprise. Not really. It makes sense that as these big banks continue to build out their stack, right, of all the products and services that they offer, that they would then have to come up with some sort of new way to figure out somebody's history with them. Good, bad, and everything in between, right? And this actually, I think, is really, really beneficial as long as you're being responsible with this credit. So we've got Navy Fed, we've got, which we knew about. We've got rumors of American Express having an internal credit score that they maybe haven't talked about or released yet. Maybe they'll never talk about it. It doesn't really matter. They have to rank in some sort of internal way. We've got other large banks now that it looks like they're doing similar. So your DTI, meaning how much you make versus how much you pay out, how much is owed on cards, how is that debt being serviced, or how much of that debt that's being serviced every month affects your total overall amount of money that you make, even on a stated application, is going to matter more. After 10T and 10, FICO 10 rolls out, the last 24 months are going to matter more. If you go out and get a personal loan and then go and use that to pay off credit cards, but then go out and max out those credit cards again, your score will drop in the 10T, the 10 and the 10T models. But that would make sense though, wouldn't it? Because it kind of proves that you're just being irresponsible with credit. So a lot of this, you want to call it common sense, you want to call it just whatever, it's just kind of common sense of how you should really be treating these accounts. So number one, get your profile ready for credit and follow some sort of strategy. Follow something like this. Take from this and take the things you like and then put it together with everything else you've read all over the internet and make your own strategy. That's the beauty of this. Like, none of this is written in stone. And every single profile is different. And there is no like, do this and it's guaranteed, bro. There is none of that in this game. It's just variations of like the hard set rules that we know and flexibility within that, and then how your profile fits, inside of that. Which we're gonna shoot a video coming up talking about like how to get thicker credit profile, okay? So, find your way into the ecosystem, number two. This is huge. I could shoot probably a big video just talking about this and breaking this all down. You have to now start to strategize a little bit better for how we're going to, this ties into number three, plan out your inquiry usage. Inquiry usage is huge, especially if you have no way of getting those removed. You have to wait 2 years for them to be removed. You got to start using your tools, like your pre-qualification, your pre-approval pages, things like that. But you got to start using that to your advantage, right? So that we're getting maximum use out of inquiries, yeah? All right, so find your way into the ecosystem. We've got now, and we've laid out quite a bit. We've focused mostly on Navy Fed and American Express because that's where we've got the most intel. But trust me, in 2022, we will be moving into other ecosystems and covering those in just as much detail. So, American Express, there's tons of ways in. We could start with a high yield savings account. We could get a prepaid debit card. We could get a business banking account with them. We could get a business savings account. There is like 3-4 different ways in. And the business route leads us to Cabbage, leads us to the working line of capital and the other loan product that they've got for business startups. Or we could just go get a gold card, which if you've got a business gold card or platinum, then usually they waive the 6 and 12 month time constraints that they usually have, or time history rather, that you are required to have before you can get those other products. So there's your way into the business side. Checking account, high yield savings. On the personal side, it could be a secured credit card, could be a high yield savings account, right? The prepaid debit card, I think it's Bluebird. Those are your ways in, right? And then the lowest hanging fruit is the co-branded Delta cards, etc., that they co-brand with American Express. So there you go. There's your way into the American Express ecosystem. Okay, Navy Fed, here's your way in. Obviously, get an account. Checking savings is required to get started. Get your business account set up at the same time. Costs $100 on that side too for a membership. And then go and get a secured credit card. Let that unsecure after X amount of time. We've got that in the full guide to Navy Fed. Okay, then go do pledge loan. You've got an unsecured card. Now we do a pledge loan, pay it down 93%. Now you're starting to get activated for more cards, right? There's the 91.3 rule. Basically wait 3 statement dates, and then you can get in there on a credit limit increase and a second card. You can get up to 3 cards, max $80,000 unsecured. But they've got all kinds of other stuff. Home improvement loan, auto loans, personal line of credit. All this, no docs, no documentation. So there is an absolute ton that you can get out of each one of these institutions. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So it's all about how you get in though. And you gotta pick and choose wisely. Because you know as well as I do, like we could go and sign up for 15, 20 credit unions. It sounds good. We saw some hack video, we get all excited about it. And then we go and we join the institution or foundation that's required, 10, 50, $100 here or there. And then we get into that credit union, but it's another place where now we have to start establishing transactional history. There's only so many places that you can have direct deposits show up. Unless you're making unlimited money, which then, I don't know, do you even want credit? Do you even care about credit? Outside of getting an apartment, getting a house, not really at that point, right? So, it's safe to assume that all of you listening don't have unlimited money. I wish you did though. And I'm rooting for you to get to that place. So we definitely need to plan out like, okay, we're going to spread ourselves across a couple ecosystems and build out those relationships. What does that look like? So we need to start taking that more serious. And 2021 really marked that year. I think a lot of people realized within the credit community that that's kind of where your focus should be. Okay. And last one, number 3 here is plan out your inquiry usage. So again, those inquiries are really, really valuable. Whether or not you can get them removed, I think again, it's still valuable because when they start to look back 24 months, they can see your patterns and habits. And that still will matter. That still will come in to bite you in the butt. Whether it looks like it won't now or what. But if you keep going in and aggressively clearing out and wiping out all these inquiries, they're gonna be able to see all that history. It was showing, gone. Showing, gone. Oh, well now that pattern aligns with, okay, now he's going out once every 12 months and going and getting 5, 10, whatever new cards. So algorithmically, they'll be able to pick up on your patterns much better than a human will, right? So anyways, that's all I got for you in this video. Understand that we've gone into extreme detail on a lot of these pieces on the channel. There's over 100 videos now. We've got the free Discord community, over 150 people in there. Join us. All of this is free. All of this is produced on our time, and the whole reason is we want you to win. It's that simple. Comment below if you got something to add, something to say, just want to help with the algos. And then, of course, take a second, hit the like button if you're brand new here. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification, turn it to all. We'll see you again real soon in another video.